So one thing we're going to do is we are going to record this tour as we move through. She's going to keep a camera on the entire time. Is it on now? What's that? Just start. Okay, the camera on right now. She's just going to follow me, and I'm going to try my best to remember to talk in the microphone here as we go through this. But this is the 2019 Infocom, Rave Infocom Tour. We partnered with Almo Pro AV on this and Listen Technologies. And none of these tour stops are sponsored or paid tour stops. I literally spent yesterday and this morning walking through the show floor, in addition to looking at all the press releases that people sent me and the products I wasn't sure if I should have on the tour. I went and looked at them yesterday or today to see if they were worthy of showing those products. We're going to record this and we're going to post this, and we're actually going to stream it again tomorrow at this time for those people that want to watch it in real life. But we'll post it on our website as well at ravepubs.com. All of our Infocom coverage for the show is at ravepubs.com/Infocom2019. We're actually going to shoot approximately 2,000 videos on the show floor, so you won't miss anything. We've got 37 reporters actually here who are going out to every booth, all 1,100 booths, and we're going to shoot new product videos at every booth. So if you miss something over the next 3 days, all you have to do is go to our website and Google it, and we'll probably have a video on it. First place we're going to stop is Intel, which is right inside this door here. So let's head this way. So everyone knows who Intel is, obviously, but what you may not know is what they have to do with our industry. Intel came out with a collaboration platform a few years ago, and version 4 of this platform is ready for prime time. And I'm going to talk, once we get in here, I'm going to talk about what's different about this. We're going to actually look at this. Thomas Loza is sitting here. I'm going to grab Thomas. Come on in. Everyone come on in the conference room. Thomas, this is my tour of all the Infocom attendees who signed up for my tour. Do you have 1 or 2 minutes to just quickly run through the Unite platform?
Sure.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No problem.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have everyone come on in the conference room, pile on in here. You can stay, they want to stay outside if you'll make sure this is clear, stays clear over here.
Oh, okay.
If you can make sure that stays clear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you put on this headset, and I want you to literally, in less than 2 minutes, run through the Intel Unite platform. How's that?
Let's do it.
I'm going to make it even harder for you because you got to hold this.
That's good. I got this too. Oh, wow. Okay.
So this is, introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Thomas Loza. I work at Intel. I am the director of sales worldwide for the Intel Unite product. So 2 minutes or less, the Intel Unite product is a platform for collaboration. It's basically built on top of a vPro-based PC that sits behind any screen that you have in your collaboration environment. First and foremost, it provides fast, easy, wireless collaboration, streaming from any device that you have in your environment. Windows, Mac, iOS, tablets, phones, Android, tablets, phones, even Linux devices. So it provides a platform where you can easily connect to the screen, and with doing so, simply hit a 6-digit PIN, click present, and you'll be up on the screen presenting in no time. Yeah, oh, sorry. All right, so yeah, we lost the guys in the back. So we're also showing in this demo some integration with some smart building controls. So the ability to fog out your glass and make it a privacy room. You notice the lights went dim, so now you actually have an environment that's going to be more conducive to collaboration. So since I can't present because they'll get shut out, what you would have seen also is that we've got a full touch interface up here, so I can come up, do annotation. I can even turn on the ability to go back and control this laptop from the front of the room. Obviously, in the front of the room touching, maybe you don't want to have to go back to your laptop to change the slides, so you can sit up here and facilitate your entire meeting from the front of the room. That experience that's in the room is also available for anybody on the network connecting outside the room. So anybody that is not in can view in and see what's going on, exactly what's in the room, have the same annotation capabilities, and actually do full collaborations as if they were in the room.
That's perfect. And I'd like to point out a couple other things. About this real quickly before we leave. You'll notice there's a little code in the upper right-hand corner here. So one of the things you can do with the Intel Unite platform is it can actually take over and manage all your digital signage networks as well. So you can deliver your content through, and this is one of the reasons I stopped here. You can have all your digital signage displays all across campus, all across the corporate campus, and use that little code right there. All you have to do is type in that code, and if you're part of the network, all of a sudden any digital signage display anywhere on campus turns into an ad hoc collaboration display, and then once you release, it goes back to the digital signage content. So you don't have to actually put a digital signage player behind here. It's all run through the Intel Unite system, and because it's compatible with Skype, also Teams, and also Zoom, you can actually use whatever collaboration platform you want and drive the digital signage content through there if you'd rather do it that way than through the Unite platform, because they're universally compatible. Not to step on your toes, but that's one of the cool features. But this is a universal platform. Even though when we naturally think Intel, we naturally think Windows, it's a universal platform. It's compatible with all devices. So I hope you'll come back and take a look at this. But we're going to head on, Thomas. I did not plan this. I did not tell him I was coming. He just happened to be sitting here looking at his phone, and I grabbed him. So we're going to go out. We're going to go to the top of the booth here. Keep heading that direction. So we're going to head out. And do you see the Peerless AV booth in front of us up there? We're going to go to Peerless AV next. So let's head this way. So one of the things that's interesting about the Intel Unite platform is that because it's platform agnostic, it means that you can actually use it with any operating system and any device. Most of the systems that are, quote, platform agnostic, that are collaboration systems, require some piece of hardware or dongle to work with other devices. And in this case, it's all software. So there's a big advantage to not having to worry about those connectors, those physical pieces of hardware. I'm not here to actually see the NASA costume, but that is kind of interesting. I'm a big space fan, so I do like that. But yeah, we are in Orlando. That's right. We're only an hour away from where it all happens, right? I was fortunate enough to take my two daughters when they were both in high school to see the last space shuttle launch here in Titusville. I grew up in half my life in Titusville, Florida, so or part of my life, I should say, not half. In Titusville, Florida, so I got to see a lot of the space shuttle launches. But come on in here, gather around. The reason why I wanted to stop here is Peerless blows me away in that they've done a phenomenal job shifting from the world of being an 80-year-old bent metal company, a company that literally made money by bending metal, to transforming their company into having a bunch of unique products. Most impressive are their kiosk products. But I'm blown away by this product. I hope you'll come back and look at the kiosk products here, right? These are outdoor kiosks and indoor kiosks. This is a two-sided monitor product, can be stand out in the rain, snow, sleet, hail, all that kind of stuff, and still works. But it uses the extreme displays. You'll notice that these displays aren't encapsulated. Most kiosk companies have encapsulated displays. They put air conditioning systems and heating systems in there. This is using the extreme displays. The extreme displays, I don't know why this demo's not working right now, but literally that thing will be dunked underwater and still operate. There's a video, we shot this video with them last year where they actually shot a paint gun edit from about 15 feet away, didn't crack the screen or anything like that. They have a dumbbell, there you go, they're dropping surfaces and throwing, they have somebody pitching a baseball at it, and the thing is indestructible. It's pretty awesome that this company's gone from a mount company to providing a unique product like this, and I think a lot of people just don't know. I think you walk by the Peerless booth and you think, oh, they're showing a mount for this product, and you don't realize they're the one that actually makes the display product here. So I wanted you to actually see that. So now we're going to head this way. All right, so next, what you're going to see is a software product. And we're going to try to break in line and run around people and keep the tour moving as best we can. I do want to remind you that we are borrowing these headsets from Listen Technologies, and I hope that you will remember to return them because I'd like to keep a good relationship with them because they are nice enough to loan these to me. But it is often sometimes you forget to take something like that off, and all of a sudden you realize that you have it. I'll make sure I'm at the right number here. That's 42. Okay, so we want to go down here. Missing it here, X10. What booth number is this? 4255. I'm one aisle over. We got to go over one more aisle. Sorry about that. That's the problem with me having to have glasses. I'm supposed to take off my glasses to read. Here we go. Sorry about that. I went one aisle too far. Come back around. Another thing I thought I'd mention about this tour, as you're probably going to notice a couple of times, including right now, I did not tell any of these companies they were on the tour because I didn't want them to have a canned presentation or have anything prepared or change their demos or make something look better than it's really looking. Come on over. Come over. So these people have no clue that I'm coming over here. And they're probably like, what the heck is going on? Come on over. All right. X10 demoed something for me about 2 weeks ago that blew my mind. I had no idea the product even existed until 2 weeks ago. A couple of guys got together and have been in the industry for a long time and realized that the industry needed a better systems design tool that also did proposal generation, also did as-builts, and also allowed for changes and modifications to designs on the fly that was all cloud-based, not on-prem, and also constantly updated through the community that was using it, and they built it. So this is like DTools doing everything you always wanted DTools to be able to do, except it's not just for the integrator, it's for the end user as well. So an end user, like a university admin person, can use this as a way to design all their classrooms on campus without having to use a systems designer or an integrator to do it. It's got its own design platform inside of it. They also have pre-configured designs in here that you can go and modify, or you can set up your own sets of designs. And anytime you make a change, it changes it on all levels of drawings. You don't buy into a very expensive thing. I don't know how much it is exactly, but it's in the range of what's a user license cost per user license? There you go. So $59 per seat license, plus what? Yeah, okay, 20%. They're saying 20% discount on buy here. That's typical. But $59 if per user per month. You get access to the platform. You don't have to have anything on-prem, and you're able to use it in the cloud at any moment in time, and it continuously builds itself. So this is a great thing to stop and see and actually go through their little demo with them. So, and I realize this is a highly unusual product because you're probably expecting to see just amazing things in this tour, but sometimes things that don't look amazing are amazing. So it's a hidden gem. So let's head on. Next place we're going is Avocor. So we're going to head over to the Avocor booth. I spent some time this morning plotting out my walking and making sure that I had the best route to make sure that we finished the tour on time. But I will say that I have no idea if we're actually going to finish the tour on time. So I'll do my best. Okay, so we'll wait for everybody to catch up here. Raise your hand if you've heard of Avocor. Oh, good. So we have 80% of you haven't heard of them. So about not quite 2 years ago, the term collaboration board was used in an article that I wrote not quite 2 years ago. And since then, the entire industry has adopted the term collaboration board to sort of redefine the interactive display market. Interactive displays were at one time just annotation and whiteboarding. This takes it to a whole new level. In the case of Avocor, a collaboration display means that it not only has annotation and whiteboarding built into it, but it also has all your meeting collaboration tools built into it. So they've integrated all the meeting collaboration tools, including Zoom, Microsoft Teams, Skype, whatever you're going to want to use there. And in the case of Avocor, they are actually one of only two collaboration board companies that are actually using the Windows collaboration system that is licensed by Microsoft, which is new. And the only other product that has it is Sharp has a version of it, right? And then so it's Avocor Sharp and Microsoft themselves with the Surface Hub 2, which isn't shipping. So the only way to get the product right now to have this would be with either the Avocor product or the Sharp product. One cool feature of the collaboration board, and is that it can literally do anything, but it's an all-in-one device. So instead of having to have a switcher, right, so that you can switch up sources, or instead of having the capable of doing wireless transmission and receiving of content so that you can connect to it without cables and connect to Farsight without any frustration, all that's built into it. However, a friend of mine who I've developed a friendship since the collaboration board market came about, I didn't even know you were going to be here, Angela, invented this software program called Quick Launch. And Quick Launch is a front end to a collaboration board that means that if you have different brands of collaboration boards, you can make them all operate and look exactly the same. So they built a little software, front end software piece that makes them all look and act exactly the same. So you can have different brand products, but the walk up and use experience is identical. So anyway, I just wanted to have everybody meet you. And I hope that you'll come back here. Do you mind flipping out to your operating system and just show them what it looks like? I caught her, again, I did not tell anybody I was coming here, so you can't blame her for not being ready. I'm sure they just did a demo of the board itself. And you'll see that as we sign out here, there we go. Do you have Quick Launch running on something else? Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, good.
Yep.
So basically that's the interface, and it can be customizable, and they have some customizable options. Avocor happens to be a platinum client of Angela's company. Her company is UC Workspace. The product is called Quick Launch, so I just refer to it as Quick Launch. The other platinum partner is NEC with their Infinity board. If I did I get that right?
Correct.
Right. But ultimately, this user interface could be the same regardless of which brand of board you're using. So in addition to Avocor building some awesome collaboration boards, you can integrate Avocor into what you already have, even interactive whiteboarding products, and still have the same user experience. And what Angela's company's done basically is pulled out all the Windows functionality that you mostly use all the time. And of course it can be customized in any way you want so that you never have to go back to the Windows interface. You can literally use it as a collaboration board and never use it as a Windows 10 PC, which is ultimately what it is. Did I do a decent job explaining that?
Great job, thanks.
So, all right, so hopefully you'll come back to Avocor, but you'll also come back and listen to Angela's. Are you hanging out here the whole show?
No, I'm here a few times during the day, but what's kind of fun is Cleveland Clinic, Applied Electronics. I see a bunch of our customers front row. So
all right, there you go. So therefore,
thank you so much for using Quick Launch.
but Quick Launch, you can check them out at UC Workspace. Just Google UC Workspace, and of course Avocor at avocor.com. Is it ucworkspace.com?
Yeah, absolutely.
ucworkspace.com. Thank you, Angela. Appreciate it. All right, let's head this direction. We're going to go back into the main hall. We're going to stop right here on the way. Gather around. Come on in, pack in here. Raise your hand if you've heard of Nareva. Raise your hand. Okay. So Nareva, this is the founder of Nareva, Nancy Knowlton, who may look familiar to you. I'm not going to ask her to speak because she founded Smart Technologies. So if you remember Smart Boards, her brainchild there. They founded a company called Nareva about 5 years ago, and Nareva builds digital ideation products. So this is a digital canvas. You can see short throw projectors that allows you to collaborate remotely or inside of on-prem. Even with people who are at their desks, they can use their laptops or tablets or mobile phones. They can collaborate from whatever site they are in, and they can be looking at the same collaboration project at the same time, regardless of where they are. For lack of a better, I'm again, as I said for this tour, I'm going to quickly go through the products, and you should come back here and get the full spiel on the products from the manufacturers themselves. But it has Jira integration built into it. So it simplifies project management, right? And it's a true ideation product in a digital format. So it has virtual flip charts, virtual post-it noting. You can do virtual annotation. You can see them playing with it in the background. But that thing, one of the things that's really cool, I use this in my classroom at the University of North Carolina, is that little speaker bar that you look at between the two projectors is probably one of the greatest audio additions to our industry in probably a dozen years. It's called the HDL 300. That is a microphone array and speaker bar in one. I have a 40-foot wide, approximately 40-foot wide by 32-foot deep classroom, and that's all I use as a microphone to pick up everyone in the classroom. I don't have to wear a mic. I don't have to worry about the mic battery dies. I don't have to wear a lavalier or anything. That's on all the time. It's connected through USB, so it's a perfect UCC companion for any small, medium size, and fairly large size rooms. I'm using it in a classroom. We also use it in my conference room at my office as well. It's a phenomenal product, and I hope that you'll come back here and take a look. We also went to the, hey Dave, how are you? Sorry, I didn't even know you were standing. This is her partner. Dave is also one of the founders of Nareva as well. But we just went to the Intel Unite booth, and I'll mention the Nareva Sketch product is integrated as an app in the Intel Unite system, which is down there on the far wall, which is basically what you remember a lot of the smartboard functionality is that interactive and annotation built into a software tool that works natively inside of the Intel Unite platform. Thank you very much. Hopefully they'll all come back and see your product. All right. I feel like I'm catching some of these people off guard, and in one way I feel bad for them, but in another way I feel good because I feel like I'm generating some level of business for them, so they should be happy. Okay, our next stop is going to be a pretty small booth. Excuse me. On the other side of the main stage here that Infocom has put together, it's a small company. So we're going to see the best way to get there is probably to go out to the main aisle again and walk down the main aisle. And if any of you have any questions on any of the things I've covered so far, since we're walking from one location to the next, just press the button on that transmitter and receiver that you have and hold it up to your mouth and ask me a question. I guess I'm doing a decent job, then I'm not getting any questions. Hello. Either that or the system's not working. I hope everybody, can you all hear me? Everybody can hear me? Yes? Okay, good. Okay, good. Do you have a question for me, or are you just telling me you can hear me? All right. Thank you. I'm sorry? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so this is a really, really small booth, and they're probably going to be completely overwhelmed when we drop in with 30 people. So we're almost there, 30 feet away.
There's black box over there. Where? Here's one of them. So we're working with them very closely.
Okay, come on down here. Come on down here. Yeah. Okay, come on in. Come on down here, catch up with us. I guess I should probably warn you what the booth number is in case you get lost. I learned a lesson there. So okay. This is a small company called HoverCam. How many of you have ever heard of HoverCam? Only a few of you? Okay. So HoverCam makes this is Craig Justice. HoverCam makes this, basically it's a lectern that's battery operated, running completely on a battery, integrated with a Windows tablet, Windows 10 tablet inside of it, a 4K document camera, all the content being sent 4K native resolution through wireless HDMI to this receiver here that is playing it in native 4K. So this is an all-in-one lectern that you don't need anything else for, all in one. It's a good demo that you're doing there. You're doing a good job.
Keep talking.
So there's only one R, Craig. That's okay. Here.
I can also.
There you go. It's bi-directional touch as well. Craig went to Duke though, so we don't actually like him that much. So I'm a Carolina fan. I teach at the University of North Carolina. So even though you would naturally not like Craig's personality, he does have some good products here. I'm a big fan of the Pilot. This is Pilot 5. The difference in Pilot and the Pilot 5, the previous version, is the biggest difference is the battery integration at the bottom. It is completely on wheels. They do have a few brochures. I hope you'll come back. Do you have more brochures?
Yeah,
I hope
we got a lot of brochures.
Okay, pop them out. I hope you'll come back and take a look at. Yeah, yep. It lasts about an hour and a half right now. The battery lasts about an hour and a half, if I remember correctly.
On this one?
Yeah, how much is
No,
that?
7 to 8 hours.
How many?
8 hours.
Oh, 8 hours. Oh, is this one the one that lasts an hour and a half?
No, only an hour and a half on the tablet.
Oh, the tablet, sorry.
Tablet. But
Tablet's
inside,
there.
you can basically
Okay,
do the whole
the tablet on this is the Pilot X, 7 to 8. 7 to 8, yeah. 7 to 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours on this one, an hour and a half on this one. This is, again, a wireless document camera. As you can see, I can disconnect it and still use it. So it could be used as a UCC camera on the fly in a meeting as well. This is the Pilot X product, which is brand new. I just saw this, I saw both of these new products at UB Tech, and then looked up to see where their booth was here at Infocom to put them on the tour. But again, Craig had no idea I was coming here. And if I didn't know he went to Duke, I'd actually like him a little bit more. But other than that, thanks, Craig. All right, so we are next going to Legrand, which is right here. Thanks, Craig.
Thank you, everyone. Nice to see you.
Hopefully you'll go back and check out his product. So we're going to Legrand, which is, let me make sure I get this right.
Over there.
Yeah, it's that way. Hey, Jason McGraw, how are you? Jason McGraw. Everyone, this is Jason McGraw.
No.
I want to just introduce you real quick.
Nobody.
All right, Jason, this is Jason McGraw. I happened to pass him in the aisle. Jason and I have known each other for literally 30 years. Jason may look familiar to you because he was for many years the Vice President of Expositions for Infocom. He's the person who ran Infocom for the most part for about the last 25 years, with a little break in between. So the growth of the show, in a lot of ways, is owed to Jason. He's too humble to accept it, but he's a great guy, and he's gone on to do bigger and better things. But I wanted to just say hello as I saw you passing in the aisle.
Everybody has a great time. It's a great show, right?
Yeah, great show. You've done a great job.
Enjoy.
All right, see you later, Jason. All right, we're heading on. Thank you. Heading on Legrand, which is where are they? Why am I not seeing them? Oh, right here. Sorry, Layard. What was I saying, Legrand? That's why I'm looking for Legrand, thinking Layard in my head. Therefore, I didn't see them. Okay. So we're going to Layard Planar. So we're going to come around the front of their booth. So we're going to the front of the Layard booth in the 3400 aisle. Come on around. Come on up. Come on up. Come on. So I'm going to show you two things in this booth. One of them is not this thing in front of us. I just wanted to stage us in front of the booth, okay? So Layard Planar is the second largest LED company in the world, behind only Absen. Absen is the largest LED company in the world, exporting more LEDs than anyone else. Layard's the second largest, I believe, if not second, third. They kind of switch places every once in a while. But I want to show you two things that they introduced here at the show that I think are really cool, that are truly potentially game-changing products, and I don't use that term very often. One is the LED floor here. This is an LED floor system, and you can imagine this in retail applications, in corporate lobby applications, in signage applications, and eventually bars and restaurants and places like that, where you don't actually have to rebuild, you don't have to build a new structure to support the floor or to support the people who are going to walk on the floor. This is an actual LED display that is capable of being walked on just like a floor. So this changes the landscape of the LED market, because prior to this you had to put some sort of flooring on top of the LED product itself. So I hope you'll come back and see that, but I also want you to see one other thing. On the opposite side of the booth here, so we're just going to go straight across here, you're going to see the finest shipping pixel pitch display on the market. So everyone's been asking, when will LEDs get to the resolution where they can completely replace projectors or flat panel displays in boardrooms, meeting rooms, and classrooms? Here it is, 0.7 millimeter. You're right there. If you converted a direct view LCD display to a human perception of LED pixel density, it would be approximately 0.67 millimeters. So this is right there. 7 millimeters is right above 0.67. So you can see that this could literally be used to replace a projector or a flat panel display technology, but the advantage of this would be the brightness and the uniformity would be the same for 10 years basically, and you would have a product that is going to have a long life without any lamp changes or any other kind of external factors. Of course, the trade-off is cost. You're going to pay a lot more money than if you just put in a projector in this case, right? So in this case, for a typical application for a boardroom, classroom, meeting room, you'd probably have to turn down the brightness and contrast considerably, which means that the product span is going to be a lot longer, because you're not going to have to drive it as hard as you would if it was in a corporate lobby or an outdoor application. So this is the first shipping LED at this resolution. It is warmer. You'll feel the heat as you walk by. So that's an inherent issue with current generation LED products. But it does run off of a standard 115 volt or 110 volt outlet. So it's not like you have to bring 230 volts to run it. It's 20 amp. It's going to require two 20 amp circuits to run this size of a board. But that's native 4K in this particular case. But you're looking at the first generation of the future. So you're granted there's a trade-off for heat, but I can tell you that you could have cooked an egg on the first 10 years of first 5 years of DLP projectors if you put it in the right place. So everything evolves, right? Now we have DLP projectors that are not much bigger than a phone that generate hardly any heat, that granted aren't as bright as the fancy big ones, but it's amazing how far they went in 25 years, right? So yeah, things evolve. Yep, that's a good question. But you will feel the heat as we walk by. So we're literally going to walk right in front of this thing so that you can feel the heat dissipating from it, since that question was asked. Now we're going to head to the Christie booth, which is this way, Christie Digital. Christie Digital is booth 2543, in case you get lost. We're going to look at one quick thing in the Christie booth. As we're walking by this side of the LG booth, look to your left and you'll see the LG waterfall. That's made of 88 OLEDs that are flat, convex, and concave, a combination of the three. That's 88 displays put together. But I want you to keep walking, don't stare at it. You can always come back and look at it. And we're going to go in the LG booth right after the Christie booth, real quick. Since we're in the realm of talking about LED displays, I thought I would show you this. Come on in, come on in. How many of you remember Christie's 15 years ago, approximately, launching the original micro tiles? They were rear screen, I'm sure you remember them, rear screen DLP cubes, right? I forget the exact size, 14-inch diameter, 14-inch, sorry, squares, right? And I can't remember the exact size of these, but these are a 14-inch diagonal here as well, but I think they're approximately like 12 and a half inches wide by like 13 and 7/8 inches tall or something like that. It's somewhere in that range. but this is microtiles. This is an example of basically chip-on-board technology repackaged in a pretty unique packaging here. And I'm going to show you something really cool, and I hope they don't freak out on me for showing you this. I'm going to take a gamble. Hold on, I'm going to put the microphone down for those of you watching. Look how serviceable this is. So I'm replacing a module. And I can disconnect this. This is power and AV over IP. They're using SDVoE AV over IP to drive the content, so it's 10 gig AV over IP. A round of applause, please. It's not bad for a member of the press to be able to figure out how to do that on the fly. But you can see that the design of this is designed to be quickly serviceable, up and operational 24/7, 365. But also the cool thing about this is, as you can see, the bending convex and concave shape means that we can pretty much do anything. We can wrap it around columns, we can put it on anything. We can use them as standalone cubes, all AV over IP, no more HDMI, no more signal routing. That way it's all across the network. Isn't that cool? All right. What's that? Oh, what's that? This is 1.2 millimeter, and they have, gosh, I wish I knew how to, we have 1.2 millimeter, and what's the other pixel pitch? Pixel pitch is 1.2 and 1.5. So pixel pitch is 1.2 and 1.5, so this hits a sweet spot, right? Price point wise and resolution wise, 1.2. All right, everyone turn around and look at the transparent LED technology on the top of the LG booth. Do you see that? That is not a glass. That is a film that you put on top of glass. It's sticky, like a double sticky film, and it's color, and you can see when it's off, it's clear. That is a game changer too, if you think about it. In much the way this is a game changer, the Christie Microtiles, that is too, because what you're able to do. Now granted, the resolution is not high, but it's perfect for applications where you're doing ambient imaging or signage or trying to change the environment a little bit or utilize wasted spaces. Or how about the front of storefronts in a mall? Think about the applications for a product like that. So we're going to walk across the aisle here, and we're going to go right to the transparent OLED section of the LG booth. Right here. This is going to be too busy to even talk very much because it's just noisy and tons of people here, but I want you to come back and see this. But I don't know that you're seeing, by just first glance, what you are actually seeing. That's a monitor wall being built from transparent displays that are completely see-through with a demo in front of it, and at the back of the booth, they're actually showing a touch version of it where you can literally touch it. It's amazing. It's like this is like the stuff that engineers 20 years ago went to bed dreaming about that they can't believe they're designing today. It's just mind-boggling to me. But that's OLED technology, organic light emitting diode. So because it's an organic LED technology, we're going to get blacker blacks and whiter whites, and we're going to get better off and on states, which means our colorimetry is going to be wider than traditional LED technology, which is already a wider color gamut than projection technology, because we're not starting with a white screen like we are with projection technology. We're starting with a black imager. In this case, we're starting with a clear imager with an overlay, basically an OLED overlay that is clear, that is the imager itself on top of the glass. So that's in a monitor wall configuration, which is quite stunning, actually. Okay, so now we're going to head towards, make sure I get my numbers right here, Epson, which is right here. There we go. So we're going to Epson, which is right here in booth number 2129. Hey, how are you? All right. We're going to go in the middle of the booth, so it's going to be a little difficult. We're going to head into the middle of the Epson booth. We're going to invade their space in the middle of the booth here. Come on in. Come on in. We're back here. My hand's up in the air if you can see me waving. Come on in. You know, I've been in the industry long enough that when people come out with new projectors, it's kind of boring. Although we all have to admit that laser technology changed things. DLP technology changed things, 3DLP technology changed things, 3LCD. So since then, it's been kind of boring. However, Epson came out with this projector right here called the LightScene. Do you mind this projector LightScene? This works off a track lighting system. So you mount this to a track lighting system, and if you see the projectors up there in the ceiling, they are doing image mapping, and you'll notice that they are doing precise image mapping. So they're blanking out everywhere that they don't want the image to go, and you're not seeing light pollution around the image. So they're actually showing an application of using this projector LightScene in a digital signage sort of retail / restaurant application. At the Digital Signage Expo, they had a bar set up, and they had them projecting down on the bar the menu of the items that you could order. And then when you finish ordering, switch to the basketball game where you're watching the game right in the middle of the table. And then when it's time to order dessert, go back to the dessert menu and then go back to the news or whatever you wanted to see. It's literally, because it's laser, you can mount it and point it in 360 degrees. You don't have to lay it horizontally or vertically. So this is kind of cool because it's not the average projector. Now I do love these giant projectors because now we're getting native 4K resolution. We're getting this, I mean, they launched a 40,000 lumen projector. Another company launched I think Panasonic launched a 50,000 lumens projector here. I mean, it's amazing. We used to, 20 years ago, we had to turn off all the lights anytime we would have a class, right? I mean, it's amazing how far we've come. But I thought you would enjoy and appreciate seeing this. So now we're going to go to the NEC booth, which is diagonally that way. It's booth 1600. So we're going to go out to the main aisle here. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Doing well, thank you. Let's actually go this way and then down, since nobody's over here. As we walk towards NEC, this is a company, DVI Gear. I'm not going to stop here, but I started this company. I sold it years ago, but it's really fun to see them in a show every year, growing, getting bigger and bigger. Because we started them as like a little cable accessory company, like I started the company 15, 16 years ago. But I don't own it anymore or anything like that. I sold it because I didn't want to be in that side of the business. I like doing the reporting and the marketing and that kind of stuff, but I'm excited for Steve Barlow and his success. Okay. Excuse me. Where's Alp? Alp?
Everywhere.
Oh, it's integrated into the entire booth?
The whole booth.
Okay, good. So we'll show it there. Come on in. So I want you to come back to the NEC booth at some point in time during the show. Obviously, NEC is a display manufacturer, makes everything. They're one of the, there's only a few, like I think we were just in Epson, they don't make flat panels, right? There's only a few companies. LG doesn't make projectors. Samsung doesn't make projectors. There's only a few companies that make every technology. NEC's one of those. They make every display technology, from projection to flat panel display technology to LED. I mean, every technology you can imagine. But the entire booth is being run through their analytics platform known as ALP. So they've integrated the analytics platform into the booth. The analytics platform, I want you to get a demo on it when you come back because it's the future of digital signage. They have the ability to not only monitor who comes in the booth and what gender they are and how old they are, which would in the world of digital signage allow you to customize content appropriate to the person that you're, if you see a teenage girl walk in, you don't want to throw a Viagra ad and vice versa, right? I mean, you want to have age appropriate content that's aimed to the right kind of viewer. This booth allows you to do that system ALP allows you to do that kind of analytics analysis, but it can apply to every part of a business. If you're a company with hundreds of offices, imagine the ability to have analytics in real time on everything that you have installed, how often it's being used, what it's being used for, what the uptime and downtime is, what's being connected to it, what the use case is for it, so that when you're building a new room, you know whether or not you want to add this piece of gear in the room because it's only being used 2% of the time or 5% of the time, or by the way, it's only being used by the men in the organization, not the women in the organization. What's the problem? Where's the disconnect here? So on and so forth. What they've done is they've integrated ALP into the entire booth. Last year when they launched ALP, they had like a little stand just demoing it, and I wasn't sure whether they'd have that this year, but they just told me they integrated it into the entire booth. So in addition to coming back and looking at their incredible images, come back and ask them for a demo of ALP and how it actually works, because it's worth seeing. And the future of the industry is giving people more information, right? Your clients, and if you are a client, you're going to want more data like that to prove and to make a use case for expanding your systems, buying more equipment, building a new building. Because the professor may say, well, we need a building that does this, but in reality, that's only one person. It's not what everybody wants. All right, so now we're going to head to Vivitech. Right, you see Vivitech and Delta right there? We only have 3 more stops and then we're done. If we have any questions, feel free to ask me questions. Yes, it's. She just mentioned that it reminds her of Minority Report, and in reality, it does. As you know, the city of San Francisco just 2 weeks ago passed a law saying that you can't use facial recognition technology in the city area. I wrote an article about that, talking about how, although I understood why they did it, that they're basically aiming at the wrong enemy, right? That there's logic in that for security, but in the world of digital signage, this is all anonymous analytics. We're not talking about who the actual person is. We're identifying them as male or female, possibly age, depending on what the application is, and what they're using the equipment for. So in the world of digital signage, that kind of hurts the potential growth opportunity of signage. So I think there's going to be a lot of pushback on that because of how many tech firms are in that area. But it'll be interesting to see. There's going to have to be a balance between government oversight and logic and reasoning. Somewhere there's going to have to be a middle there. And I'm not an expert. This is for people that are much smarter than me, and I don't have any interest in politics whatsoever. But do you have your Nova Connect set up anywhere in the booth?
Yes, the Nova Connect is set up in the back.
Back of the booth. Okay. All right, come on. Nova Connect's back here. So if everyone will gather back here, we're only going to stay here for a minute or two. But Vivitech, thank you. Vivitech, come on back. Come on in. It's probably the best kept secret in collaboration in the industry from a hardware collaboration standpoint. Everyone knows the Barco ClickShare product. It debuted in 2012, had about 100% between a 90 to 100% market share until 2015. And then we saw some soft collaboration systems compete with it that are software based. Now they still have about a 50% market share in the collaboration market. And here's this company, Vivitech, who you would never even know they have the product. It's one, like, they even shoved it in the back of the booth where you can barely find it. No offense to Vivitech, but this is a phenomenal product. So if you're looking for a product line that's a hardware-based collaboration product that is also, do you have your launcher here? Don't have a launcher. Okay, so they have a button-based version of it where you can launch by plugging in USB, very similar to what you're familiar with the ClickShare. But this is also 100% software-based as well. You don't have to have any piece of hardware. You can just join the network that this is on, and then once you're on the network, you type in an ID and you're connected to the device. The device will show an ID on the screen. You type an ID, and you have a management platform that the person who's in charge of the room can decide who gets connected and whose stuff gets displayed. It's so late I'm forgetting the term that you use. For moderator. Moderator, that's the term I was looking for, thank you. A moderator who will decide what content gets displayed where. They have a 4K output, and this particular one actually has a separate wired HDMI input. This is the newest version of the Novo Connect. Is there a model difference? X900. Okay, the X900. So this adds a wired port as well. So in a way, this becomes a virtual switcher, unlimited virtual switcher, with with a hardwired port as well. So somebody could bring in a laptop in the case that they freak out about the idea of having their content sent wirelessly over a network that they're not familiar with, or they just want to hardwire up and they want to be able to disconnect and know that nothing's being left behind. This gives you that ability to do that. And they also have other form factors, smaller ones. I don't see them all out, but they have the Novo DS is very, very small. It's geared towards wireless digital signage, but in reality, it's a single wireless connection device that's completely software-based. You just hide it behind a monitor, and you can connect to it. Very similar to the Intel Unite, but this is BYOD. So this isn't full collaboration suite. This is a simple BYOD connection. Anyone who brings in a device, whether it be a tablet, a phone, Mac, PC, Android device, Chrome device, doesn't matter, they can all connect. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that Vivitech with the Nova Connect product is the only company that handles all the different platforms. So you're handling Android and Chrome.
Yeah, with Mac, PC, Android, iOS, tablet, phone. For all of those devices, we support both native screen sharing like AirPlay, Miracast, or Google Cast, as well as our software or app-based sharing, which then brings a bunch of additional capabilities like being able to have 4 things up on screen at once. And with this hardwired input, that could be one of the 4 things on screen at one time.
What's the list price of this product?
$999.
$999. So it's very priced competitively. This would sit somewhere between the CSE 800 and the CS 200, and it's certainly higher than the 100 Huddle.
Starting at $400.
Yeah, the $400 one would be the one that would compete with the 100 Huddle from Barker. Only reason I bring you here is because it's amazing to me that Vivitech has this amazing product that nobody knows about. No offense to you, I don't know, are you the product manager or
Not the marketing department.
Okay, there you go. So, and I think you just wouldn't know about it. And they have this new product with a hardwired port, and I was just surprised at 4K output at the feature set that they're offering. Any other questions before we move on? All right, so we're going to slip out the back. No, we're going to go this way because we have another stop to make before our last stop.
Stop back and I'll tell you all about it.
Yep. Thank you. Okay, the next place we're going is our next to last stop. Is here. We're going to BrightSign. Do you see the words BrightSign up there? The purple BrightSign booth, which is booth 445, I think, on the map. And then after BrightSign, we end the tour at one more booth, and then we're done. So BrightSign, as we're walking over there, I'll give you the story. You might recognize the purple color for BrightSign. BrightSign was started by the founder of Roku, one of the 2 founders of Roku, which is the consumer set-top box manufacturer, you know. The consumer market, obviously that application is streaming TV and movies into your house. And the professional product, they branded as BrightSign. But in the early days of BrightSign, they actually used the same Roku player with some professional features, but now they have their own product line. But what I want to show you is the gesture-based. Hey, how are you?
Gesture-based?
Yeah, this. Yeah, where's your gesture-based stuff?
Pinch and zoom?
Yeah, pinch and zoom. Yeah. And at DSE, well, at DSE you had the where you could control it with the air. Yeah, come on. I forget what you call that.
It's ultra haptics.
What's it called? Ultra haptics. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. This is what I brought you here. No, I want you to do it because I don't. But hold on, wait for everyone to get here because I'm leading the whole tour here. Apologies. Okay, so this was at DSC and blew my mind because I'd never seen anything like this. So BrightSign is the world's largest manufacturer of digital signage media players. They also, in their media players, they also have a built-in CMS and content creation system. So you get all three when you align yourself with BrightSign. Definitely very impressed with the company. I'm impressed with the growth, and they've also helped the industry grow because they've embraced the AV channel. A lot of digital signage companies have gone off to the IT channel and other places and never come through the AV channel. BrightSign started in the AV channel in a lot of ways. So jump forward a little bit. They were the first company to have high definition media players back, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago. They were the first company to have 4K players at least 3 or 4 years ago, 4 years ago. And then at DSC, they launched this thing called Ultra Haptics, which is gesture-based control digital signage. So I'm gonna let you, if you don't mind putting this on, will you do this demo by wearing that? And then the only other thing I'm gonna ask you to do is I'm gonna ask you to hold this mic because we're recording it as well. The mic.
Yes, and as Gary said, hi everybody, I'm Ann Holland, the Vice President of Marketing at BrightSign. Ultra Haptics is not our technology, it's a partner technology. One of the things that BrightSign is very strong in is partnering with other CMS partners, technology partners. We have open APIs so that they can integrate their technology onto our platform. This is Ultra Haptics. If anyone's interested enough to want some contact information, you can scan the QR code right here. But basically the demo is you can watch my hand, and I'd invite all of you to come try it also. I'm feeling a sensation that is delivered to my hand so that I know something's happening. And it's not only moving the line here on the display, but it's also changing the color of the light over here, the hue light, which is connected by Wi-Fi.
So let me put that back on real quick. So clearly there's a lot more applications than just changing the color of a light. The point of this is to show that you have gesture-based control for anything you can come up with, if you think about this. Like, for example, imagine if you had a product and you wanted to learn about a product and you said just wave your hand over it and then the details of the product appear on the display, and maybe a different person has a different product they want to learn about and they wave the product in front of it and the specs of that product come up. So you have to, it's sort of like an open platform that you can use to design sort of anything that you can think of that is gesture-based. And the advantage of gesture-based, I mean, think about certain industries, like nobody wants to touch anything in a hospital. So think about this in a hospital where you normally have to touch things, and now you're using gestures, volume up, volume down, change channel left and right, driven by a content player or something like that. And again, these are simple examples, but it's sort of up to you as the integrator or the customer to come up with the creative applications. What Ann was saying is that they have third-party relationships and partners that have developed on the BrightSign platform, which means that their players can be used for any of these types of applications that are not traditional digital signage because they are true media players.
It's also being used in automotive because you don't have to look.
Yeah, that's a good example. In the automotive industry, you know, you have those cars that have those dials that you're touching while you're looking up somewhere else. That's what you're referring to. While your eyes are still on the road. Similar type of technology. So you kind of have to think out of the box a little bit, and I wanted to show them this, but I hope you'll come back and see the full line of signage players. They have everything from traditional simple players all the way up to 4K players, but they also launched here at the show, officially launched a cloud platform called BSN Cloud, which allows you to do everything in the cloud. So instead of having on-prem based digital signage system, you can do it completely from the cloud, so you don't have the investment of the server infrastructure that you would have with a large digital signage structure. Plus, it'll make it easier for you to deploy it. because once you've set the standards for one location, you can deploy multiple thousands, potentially, locations simultaneously. And all the content production can be in the cloud as well. So I want you to come back and check out BSN Cloud as well. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate you doing that. All right, thank you. And then we're going to go to our last stop here. And of course, BrightSign has every price point you can think of for signage players. We're going to do a cut through here. We're going to kind of go through a bit of a maze to get where we're going, but it's right. It's not too far away. 2 to 3 minute walk here. We're going to go around the Vivitech booth. Again, if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask questions as we walk. I want to thank you. This is our last stop on the tour. I do want to thank all of you for taking an hour and a half out of your day on a show like this that's really busy to be willing to do this tour. And again, I want to thank Listen Technologies for the Listen Talk system. That's what this is called. Listen Talk, T-A-L-K, all capital letters. T-A-L-K is all capital letters. And I want to thank you for Listen for showing us the product and allowing us to use the product. And I'm going to let you off here at the Almo booth for a couple of reasons. Number one, they sponsored this tour, so I think they deserve a little bit of recognition. So I guess you could say that there is one sponsor talk. Number two, the headset receivers are all here in the booth, so we'll be able to let off our headset receivers and we'll be done with the tour. And number three, Almo is a distributor in the industry, so they actually rep about 40 product lines. So it's a chance for you to see different technologies. They actually have an Avicor display in here. They have a Peerless AV kiosk. They have an AV over IP demo section here where they're showing 1 gig and 10 gig AV over IP through the network here. So I want you to, if you're interested, to walk around. They have some audio companies here as well, but I'll take a few minutes before I finish this and see if there are any last minute questions from anybody. Other than that, the one last thing I'd like to ask, if you're staying Friday, I would love for you to be willing to get up with me at 7 o'clock on Friday morning and run the very first Avixa 5K. This is a fundraiser for the Women in Avixa and diversity programs here at in the industry. I don't think we have to explain why we need those programs if you just kind of look around. And we're doing fundraising for that. We've got almost 500 people signed up to run the race on Friday. And the race was my idea. 5 years ago, I pitched this idea to Infocom, so it only took 5 years to get it going. It actually, they weren't interested originally, but then they liked the idea later, which is I'm excited about. And they said, we'll do it, but you have to agree to get in a dunking tank and get dunked by the people that are there at the race. So I'm also not only going to run the race, but at the end, I'm going to get in a dunking tank for 45 minutes and let you guys all dunk me. And you can dunk me for $1 if you make a donation there on site. But I'd love for you to run the race if you're interested. I know getting up Friday morning early is not that interesting, and trust me, I'm not that excited about getting up that early, but it's worth the donation to the foundation. It goes to the Avixa Foundation. It's 100% 501c3 deductible organization. It's for a good cause, and that's the only other thing I will say. I appreciate your time on the tour, and I hope this was somewhat helpful, and I hope we enlighten you with a couple of products, since we did cover 15. Believe it or not, we went to 15 booths. This video of this tour will be published on our website sometime tomorrow. And of course, I'll probably write a little bit about it over the coming weeks to kind of give some credit to some of the companies that I pointed out. So I have to keep this and remember where I went, so I have to watch the video myself. But thank you very much. Are there any questions, Toby? Well, thanks, Toby. Toby and I go back a long way. I built a house in the Outer Banks some 15, 16 years ago. And Toby, this guy is a great designer. And I said, hey, I don't know anything about lighting design. Will you take my plans and tell me where to put all the lights? Because I hadn't thought about, like, where do you put all the can lights? How do you light things out? He took the plans of my entire house and told me where to light everything. Phenomenal. It looks beautiful. I've just recently switched it to LED after all these years. Switching it to LED costs more than the original install from the original lights. But it's nice because I don't think I'll probably die before those lights die, so that's a good thing. Yeah, we're going to leave them all here. Let me find out who's going to collect them. Somewhere the receiver, do you know where the headset, who's going to collect the headsets from this tour? For the tour? Can we just put them on the table right there, all the headsets from the tour? Or how about this table?
Why don't you give them to me and I'll collect them?
Okay, good.
How's that?
There you go. She's going to collect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.